Hey guys, it's Will here. We're taking a look at a special unboxing, something that I really love. I found this at a game store nearby, so we're going to take a look at it. This is the starter box for Konflikt 47 German Army. I love the packaging on these. They are very nice. And it has, of course, the list here, pictures on the side, and unlike the bolt action ones, they actually have pictures, description about the lore. This is basically, think like a mini starter box. The idea behind these are, from what I've gathered, is if you've been playing bolt action already, you buy one of these box sets and it gives you add-ons to your bolt action army to play with some of the cool conflict stuff, plus a rule book and some dice. Or if you've never played bolt action, this is your first game getting into it. And I kind of wish bolt action would make box, like, they don't get rid of the army boxes they already have for each army, but make something like this, or maybe push Konflikt as a starter game, like a more casual game, and basically sell this, so that way you have your dice, you have dice, your markers, your rule book, which is this full on rule book, and of course your models. The purpose behind these boxes is you get one unique unit. Usually the rest of the factions get armored units. The Germans get this. They used to give you, in a box set, they used to give you werewolves also. They did a bigger box that would give you werewolves. Or the bat guys. Well, that was a better deal. You get like your 2 units, your command squad and stuff, Spindle Mech, and your Panzer IV, which can have the turret. Best box deals, in my opinion, is, if you're looking to play, is the British or the Russians. For how much you're going to spend on their models, that's the way to go, because you get a deal. Germans are second, with the Americans coming in. Actually, Japanese would be second. Germans be third. The Americans actually have the worst box deal. Like, it's still good. Like, it's a good. All of them are great intros, but for how much the models cost, especially nowadays, versus what you get in the boxes, and like if you get full actual units, then not just cut in half ones like they'd like to do. A lot of game companies like to do in star boxes. Those ones are the ones that give you the best bang in full, like playable sized units. So let's get into opening this here. Hey, here we go. So we're back, and as you can see, here's the rule book itself. It's one of those little pocket ones, but just like bolt action, it is to scale, so the pages will match. I have a couple of these now, which is great. The original idea was, when this came out, these were a first edition Konflikt. So the idea was, you just buy these and you can just play. And so the Konflikt rule book came with these, and that's how you got it originally. Was how to. Here we have, if you've seen all my other videos, or other people open these, or you've opened up Starbox yourself, here's the quick rules. Except for these ones are the Konflikt rules. So they have a little bit more. So the movement types, they added on there. Let's see if I can get that for you. But like, you have Walker down here, it's kind of hard to see. The weapon profiles have been updated, stuff like that. Close quarters, how to do stuff, because in Konflikt 47 there's a lot more emphasis on close combat and stuff like that. So it's more like your traditional, like, Age of Sigmar 40k games. Then here we have our Totem Corpse, the zombies. Transfer sheet for vehicle. If you buy a full box of these dudes, they come with, I think, 12. So you get like basically 2 of these packages. We have the Spindle Mech in the box here. I'll open them as we go through. Here we have the turret. We have the Panzer IV. We have our German boys here. There we go. So 1, 2. Normally there's 4 of them in here. Here's your markers for pins. I got a bunch of these. I'll probably give them away. Bases, get a full tray plus 2 of these. Here we have our order dice and dice. More order dice, can't get wrong with that. Base for the spindle mech. And of course your sheet here for grenadiers to kind of tell you what all the different loadouts are and stuff. Good. Here we go. We have the gravity turret and its wonder. Quite a bit of flash. But here it is. If you guys follow my Twitter, I have pictures of one I've already painted on there. This one is for the Panzer IV. It does also fit on the Firefly because it has the same peg. But they do have a different version for the Puma, for the light ones, which kind of looks cooler than this. And then, of course, they have the turreted version, which I believe is this one. Just it has a wheel mount and is driven by dudes in power armor. So yeah. And then here we have the spindle mech. Again, same thing. On Twitter, I have, though the one I made was the flame spindle, so the flamethrower version. This part here is actually a headlight. I did not know that. And we have the open topped turret with the guns. So open turret with the guns and the flat end of that. Then in here we have the guns and the legs and the captain, the commander of the tank. I believe this is a 2-man turreted vehicle, open topped. So yeah. Alright, so with that, guys, that has been a quick look at the German Army starter set for Konflikt 47 alternate history game. The army boxes for bolt action get you a lot more value, though instead of getting a lot of armies, this is a small 1,000-point army, quick, just start, just to get quickly playing it, like the start collecting boxes that Games Workshop used to make. This is the equivalent from Warlord games. I know they do a bunch of different timelines, so if there's any sort of historical part in the world that you like, they make a game for it, and they're all great quality. Rules all usually play about somewhat the same, so you can play one, get into the other. The fact that this gives you quick rules for Konflikt specifically gives you a full, like $60 rule book, your order dice, because the order dice is a huge thing for this game, whereas other army starter boxes don't, which I think games are, especially with increasing pricing, and they pulled some models from the last versions of their starter army boxes. They should give us order dice to match what they recommend on the list that tells you how they built the army list. Though the nice thing about these boxes is if you already have an army, you can because they're the full models, they're not like pre-molded like Games Workshop or Privateer Press does. You can either freely add it to an army in any way you want to build it, or you can build it as they recommend. And both versions will get you the best value out of the box. So with that, guys, I shall see you in the next video here, and maybe someday we'll get into depth about the game and how it plays. Yeah, bye-bye.